everyone. Today I'm talking to Shreya Shah, who was diagnosed with endometriosis. And when she found out, it was stage 4. And this came with a lot of challenges. And she has so gracefully agreed to share with us about her journey. Thank you, Shreya.
Thank you, Lucy. It's been a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. So, before you were diagnosed with endometriosis, what were some of the symptoms that you had, but you didn't know that, these are the symptoms of endometriosis?
So I would say it started with painful periods. And the thing about painful periods is, for me, it has been there ever since my menstrual cycle started. So I would say, I don't know if it was there since then, because in our Indian families, I don't know if it is a norm in all families, but it's like period pain is normal.
Yes.
Yeah, and you have hot water bottles, you go to sleep, you can't do anything, and my pains were vigorous, and I would say painful. I've got friends who can vouch for this, family who can vouch for this, whereby during college, school, it was more of like my period start, I can't do any activities. Everything stops.
Wow.
I'm at home, I'm crouching, literally in the bed, like literally crouching. The hot water bottle doesn't help. But I was told it's periods, it's normal, it will go away. 2 days, so my pain was constant 2 days, and it goes away.
Okay.
Um,
And this was one of the biggest symptom that you had, but
yes.
we've all normalized it so much.
So much. Okay. Now, over, I would say, the years, the pain started
To increase.
increasing. And the past 4 years, the pain was extreme to the point where I had to take very strong medication.
Oh my God.
And I used to take 1,000 mg for 3 times a day, every day for 2 days. And despite that, the pain was not going. It reached a point now where we're in 2025 now. So I would say last year, so 2024, 2023, about November 2023, after taking medication, I had my period. I just fainted at work.
You fainted?
At work.
Oh my God.
That was after taking this strong medication as well. But the other symptom I had for about since June of 2023 was every time I want to go past bowel, I get this severe pain where again, sharp pain. I have to hold something. I have to really pull myself. And then it's like I go to the washroom and then I'll feel better.
Okay.
And every time I had to pass bowel, that was the symptom. I was in pain.
So your body was telling you that something is not okay around that area, right?
Yes, but there was also another thing that I made a mistake. I have a very, very bad phobia for doctors. And I wish I went earlier.
Yeah.
But I was avoiding gynecologists completely. And I did not want anything to be checked. I said, it will go away, due time it will go away, everything will be fine.
And can I ask you why the phobia of doctors, especially gynecologists?
Gynecologists, because of my trying to conceive and nothing worked, and I went to so many doctors and I was taken for a ride. And it reached a point I went through depression, severe depression, for almost a year. And it took a lot to get out of that. I had suffered hormonal imbalance. I had put on so much weight. I had lost self-confidence. And I said, I'm never putting myself through that ever again. So gynos was not an option at all. It was just, no. I even didn't go to see one for so many years. And I lived with all these pains and everything. I spoke to friends who were doctors to basically prescribe to me this medication
But
that I was taking.
I'm not going to.
But I'm not going to a gynecologist.
Okay.
But it reached a point where I had to.
Yeah, you fainted, and
I fainted.
now something had to be done.
And it was embarrassing in a way because everyone at work, when I was on my cycle, knew that I was on my cycle. It would just show because of the pain. But that day it was severe where I started sweating. We have a couch at the reception. I went and parked myself there, crouched completely. The pain wasn't going. I got up, went to the washroom. As soon as I just got to the washroom, I fainted.
Oh my God.
The pain was just intense. Luckily, my workmate came and she found me on the floor and she called my husband and I could not drive, I could not do anything. So basically, Uber took me home. Now, at our place, we have stairs, we don't have a lift, and we stay on the second floor. I had to call my house help
To come in.
to help me
Come
climb
and get up.
the stairs.
Oh my God.
I've never felt so helpless
Yeah.
in my life, and it was a feeling. I mean, you walk, it's 40 steps. How can you not walk
But
40
you're-
steps?
I know,
you're in
but you
pain?
see, all this pressure that you're putting on yourself, that we all do, and you said something that it's embarrassing because everybody at work knows about your cycle,
Yes.
but it shouldn't be that way, right?
It should not.
Number one, it should not be that way, and thank God for your friend who helped you at work, and also it's good that they knew.
Yes.
And that it's severe and now what to do next, and that they knew about your cycles and the pain, so they could help you, be compassionate towards what you're going through. And also this pain aspect and how we've normalized it, I'm just the magnitude of it
Yes.
and what we all go through. Suppose, okay, I have 2 boys, but suppose I have a girl, and would I tell her, what would my conversation be with her, that, you're going to get periods and you're going to be in pain for 4 days? Is that what I'm going to tell her?
No, that should not be the case. One advice I wish I knew, and I think a lot of Indian families probably don't know what to give their children, or many other families in other cultures, I'm not sure. But I'm talking about Indian because we're Indians and that's the culture I know.
That's what we know.
Yeah. And also, going out there now, I've realized, okay, maybe it is more of an Indian culture, but again, like I said, I'm not sure, okay? Is that periods should not be painful. Painful is not that uncertainty that you feel when you're in your period. You get low. That's normal.
There's discomfort.
Yeah? There's discomfort. That is normal. But pain is not normal. If anyone out there who is going through pain, please get it checked. It could not be endometriosis. It could be something else. It could be because I didn't only have endometriosis. I had other symptoms. I still have adenomyosis because I've kept my uterus. And I'm still living with that, but I am pain-free right now.
You're pain-free right now?
Pain-free. It has been 7 months since my surgery, and I have been pain-free. I didn't know periods were this normal. I didn't know that heavy bleeding is not normal. So, sorry to take you a bit back, but symptoms of endometriosis, okay? Heavy bleeding, infertility. You've got sex, painful sex, during or after, okay? You've got nausea, you've got diarrhea, you've got severe fatigue. Different people go through different things.
And everybody might not experience all of it.
No, like I didn't.
Some people might just experience one.
Yes.
And the rest could be okay, but still get yourself checked, because it could be early onset.
Yes.
And
early diagnosis can be reversed. There is a lot of research that has gone into this. I would say not as much as it's supposed to, but with women who are influential. I would say, for example, like I don't know how many of you know the actresses, the twin actresses Tia Tamara. Tia had endometriosis. She openly talks about it. Okay, her journey, how her doctors helped. We've got another university lecturer called Catherine. Her flow as well. Okay, her journey as well, and how they all reversed this. And lifestyle changes are very important. Okay, simple things. It is not difficult. It's all in the mind, but it is so doable. If you don't want to go under the knife, it is very much
So
doable.
if you diagnose it earlier, if you go to the doctor and you have an early diagnosis, that's when you're saying it's manageable
It's manageable.
through lifestyle.
Yes, a lot of doctors might not give you the direction of diet, which is very sad. All these stories you can Google and you will find the same answer, which I went through the same thing that no, you basically just have to do the surgery and there's nothing else you can do about it.
Unfortunately, I've been talking to a few other women who've got endometriosis, and they've told me that a doctor actually told them that told her that it's okay, you just have to go through the surgery every year. Every year?
Every year, yeah, it's a recurring thing,
And they don't realize. I mean, there are people who've gone through 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, and these are young women who
yes.
are still willing to have kids. So tell us what it does to our body when we go through the surgery.
So before even surgery, okay, once the diagnosis happened, and guys, this is my journey, okay?
Yes.
I'm not a doctor, I'm not a professional in this, it's just my journey I'm sharing. So always consult a doctor,
Of course.
or a few people before you make your decision. But this is purely my journey, okay, which we're discussing.
Yes.
I went to see the doctor, okay? I was diagnosed with endometriosis. I went through a couple of scans and a lot of tests before it was confirmed.
And I also want to ask at this point, how was it when you were first told that you've got endometriosis stage this?
Stage 4. When I was diagnosed, actually, I felt like I've got all toppings of a pizza in my uterus, because what I was diagnosed with was adenomyosis, which I still have because I've kept my uterus, stage 4 endometriosis, a fibroid which was 6.7, almost, yeah, 6.7, polyps. I had a bulky uterus which was completely inverted.
Wow.
Okay. I had other cysts that were formed as well around the ovaries and the uterus. Like I said, it was like a pizza topping, but now a uterus topping. We call it that way. I just asked the doctor. I did not know what endometriosis was myself as well at that point. I asked the doctor, "What are you talking about? Can you please explain? I don't know what this is." Okay. And when you say stage 4
Of
you're
anything.
thinking, what do you mean stage 4? Like, what is stage 4? Like, what is this thing that is stage 4?
I mean, for me, I would just be like stage 4 of anything, because stage 4 cancer, I would just be like, it's crazy. And I'm
Yeah.
sure in this case, it was.
You freeze, well, like I froze.
Yeah.
First, not knowing what this is. Okay? And then, sadly, the doctors don't explain to you in depth of what this is. They just tell you, yes, and it is a fact that they're known issue. I mean, known cause of what causes endometriosis and all these things. But explaining was also a bit of a problem. But then it's like, okay, so what needs to be done? Surgery. Okay, what sort of surgery? laparoscopic surgery, but you have to decide whether you want a hysterectomy. So not a full hysterectomy, just a hysterectomy, which means the removal of your uterus, but your ovaries and tubes remain. Or you keep your uterus. And at that point,
That's it.
that's it. Pros and cons, I mean, you're told pros is you'll be pain-free, okay? Cons is you keep your uterus, then the chances of this coming back. So when you're in pain and you're at the doctor's office, you're like, okay, that's a no-brainer. Remove. You know, like, remove. I mean, I want to be pain-free. Remove. I don't need this uterus then. And then you ask the doctor, but what happens to your body when you remove the uterus? They just say nothing. It's just you won't get pregnant.
No.
You're like, it's an organ in your body. It can't just be there just for pregnancy's sake. There has to be something more. I had a month to decide whether I want to keep my uterus or I want to remove it. I spoke to, I think, 3 doctors in India and 2 doctors in Kenya. And with all the consultation and everything, and I spoke to, I think, more than 20 women.
Okay.
And did my thorough research, and it's sad to even say that the women who I spoke to as well was like, they didn't understand or realize that what the body went through when removing the uterus. But when I told them my story, they were like, just remove your uterus and you will be pain-free, okay? When I spoke to the doctors and I learned more, and the medical world, when you even Google about this, it's so sad that they've filtered everything into the sense that everything is all about, yes, remove your uterus as well. You know, there's not much information out there. So you literally have to rely on past experience of people, women who've gone through this, and doctors. And when I went back to those women with certain symptoms of what they went through, okay, not necessarily, I was not looking for people who went through endometriosis, but I was looking for people who removed the uterus
And now how
and
they
how
look like.
they look like. What did they go through?
Yes.
That is what I wanted to find out.
Yes.
Okay? Because that's the decision I had to make.
Of course.
And just to realize that your body goes through a lot. Different people went through different things. You get anxiety issues. You get depression issues. You get skin issues. You get fatigue issues. I got stories of people telling me that they've slept so well during the whole night. Got probably a good 10 hours sleep, 8 hours sleep, but when they wake up in the morning,
So tired.
they're so tired. Fatigue is just not, like, it's there and they have no idea what to do.
And
And
knowing this is something you can't reverse.
Yes. And then again, through medication and everything, you have to take those, is now what is helping them.
But yeah, again, that's a question individually you have to ask for yourself. Is that how you want to live the rest of your life?
Yeah. So then, of course, I was told that adenomyosis, with the research that I did, was that there are only 2 ways to get rid of that. Is to remove your uterus,
Okay.
or when you go through menopause. Okay, adenomyosis goes away. Now, the reason I kept my uterus was because of all these doctors' consultations that I had, who said this can be managed through lifestyle change.
Okay.
There is no guarantee, guys, there is absolutely no guarantee that even if you remove your uterus, endometriosis does not come. Okay.
Wow.
Because of the scar tissues. Okay, so endometriosis is similar to the lining tissue of your uterus, but now that tissue is growing outside of your uterus. All right?
So it can still come back.
If your surgery, the scar tissues, if they're not completely removed and you still remove your uterus, it can still come back. As I mentioned, there is no absolutely no research that is showing what is the cause of endometriosis, how it forms, what happens. Okay, a few doctors, and these are some of the doctors from the YouTube channels that I watched before I made this decision. They all confirm the same thing, and women confirm the same thing, that there is no guarantee. And actually, there are two cases where the endometriosis did come back even after the uterus was removed.
Okay, so there is a chance, but
There is a chance.
obviously, once you remove the uterus, there are higher chances, according to the doctors, that at least the pain will go away
Yes.
in the near
Yes.
future. You will, and then it's very attractive to women who've gone through so much pain, and they'll be like, "Yes, it's a no-brainer. Let's remove it, right?" So, when you told me you've kept your uterus, this was a big question in my mind as well. Like, but why? Why did you keep it? But now you answered it, that the problems that you might have faced after, you're not willing to, go through those.
Recovery also after surgery is longer.
Okay. And how long was your recovery after?
So I'm still recovering.
Okay.
As much as 7 months. The doctor says internally you heal. It takes about 6 months to a year and even longer. And how do I know that? Is because when I go to the gym now, I cannot do swimming.
Oh.
I cannot do anything to do with my abdomen. I get a straight stretch and a straight pull, and basically I'm in pain for a week, which shows literally that internally I have not yet healed.
Okay.
Externally, my healing process, I would say, took about 2 months.
Okay. And internally, you said you're still healing. 7 months and going.
7 months and going, and I'm still healing. It is frustrating. Recovery was very frustrating, especially if you're someone who's always on the go, who's active.
You were so active.
Yeah.
Especially hikes and stuff.
Hiking.
Remember, you were the first one who would sign up, and
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. I can't hike yet. It's sad, but I still can't hike. But you know what? It's not the end of the world, because first was to get out of bed with that on my own. So I'll just take you back one step. Before my surgery, which was scheduled on a Saturday, on the Monday, I was on my second day of my period.
Okay.
And oh gosh, I can't forget that day. I woke up in severe pain, but I could previously get out of bed. I could go to the washroom myself, walk myself out. I could not get out of bed. I couldn't get out of bed on my own. I told my husband, there is something wrong with me. Just call the doctor, please. And the doctor said I needed to go to hospital, because there's nothing they could do at that point, because the surgery was scheduled for Saturday. And all they could do was give me painkillers at that point. But how do I get there? So my house help and my husband helped me get out of bed, helped me walk, because I could not even walk or stand on my own. The pain was severe. Severe pain. I will tell you one thing, I have never felt so helpless in my life. I've said to myself, if I can't get up, I can't walk, because of this pain, what am I doing? What am I living for? I can't rely on other people. And I told myself that day, I will do whatever it takes to make sure I do not get back to that feeling. It took IV, it took an injection and painkiller to get that pain off that day.
Wow. But at least now you had your surgery planned. So that was the last painful period.
Actually, no, there were 2 more after surgery.
Okay.
But that was normal, but not severe.
Okay.
It was like I could take one tablet, but the whole day, 1000 mg, but the whole day for 1 day, and that's it.
Okay.
Which the doctor said because of
The healing.
the operation, the surgery that happens. Now, my surgery was 6 hours. So it was intense. Actually, when they went in is when they found a lot of drilling that they had to do because of stage 4 endometriosis, cement, which forms and joins all your organs and everything. So a lot had to be done. And they had to remove my right fallopian tube because it was completely damaged. But everything else is intact. Okay. Walking the next day, I still remember. I felt like an old lady because you have to turn slowly on the side, and then you have to get up, and then you have that stitches, so you have that pain. But then you told walk, and then you were like, okay, I'm trying. So you're walking so slowly. I think.
And then trembling, yeah.
Yeah, like I felt I needed to hold someone to walk, but I was like, okay, I'm walking fine. Then got discharged, come back. You have to lie flat on your back the whole day for about 10 days. I think it was 10 days. Walking, as you get up, you have to always turn, whichever side you're comfortable with, turn and then get up. Sitting down was like, you have to sit down very carefully. You can't bend, so you always have to rely on someone to, if you're wearing socks or something. And it was cold because that was July. So rely on someone to help you wear socks because you can't bend.
Forget that. Could you laugh?
Oh, laughing was like, no.
It would hurt. You were laughing.
You have to hold your legs so tight. So you cannot. But eating as well. I remember the 7th day. I don't know what I went through that day because I woke up feeling so low. I woke up like I had like I gave up on life or something like that. No purpose. Yeah. And I was like, what am I doing? I'm just lying down. I can't eat anything. I feel like eating, foods that you eat every day, even breakfast, I was like, nah, I don't like it. Nothing. I'm having my herbal tea. No, it's just not going down. Water, it's just not going down. It's like, what am I going through? And then all of a sudden I'm crying. And I'm like, why am I crying? And then I was like, okay, I'm really feeling low.
Yes.
And I'm feeling like I've given up. And I want this thing done, or either it takes me or I get it done. Like, what the hell is this? Yeah. And then I called my husband. He was at work. And he told me, no, Shreya, no, you've come a long way. And I've done Vipassana meditation. So he was like, just do a bit of meditation and you will get back. You have to recover. You have to absolutely recover.
So he has been your like strong support through this?
Him, I would say I've been lucky. I've been so lucky. I've got friends, family, immediate family like my dad, my sister, my brothers, my in-laws, my husband, my aunts, cousins. Every day these people are at home. My friends, my workmates. I think I'm lucky. I didn't know I was such a loved child, but I realized at that point, gosh, how lucky I am, because my God, you need that support system.
Yes.
Without that,
without that,
you will, it emotionally takes a toll.
Physically you may recover, but emotionally,
it takes a big toll on you.
Yeah. And then every day would be a drag, and then every day you would be like, what's the point of life, right?
Yes.
Every day would be that 7th day.
Every day. But you know what? And I would even say my neighbors were there as well. Like, they didn't know, but when they saw me coming in and they didn't see me for a while going out and stuff, they were like, they came home to actually ask my mother-in-law. And then they found me there. They're like, what is wrong with you? And then when I started walking down and slowly climbing, and they saw the struggle, they saw my face. Imagine they would actually come and help me walk. Even if it was for the 10 minutes. And I was like, oh my God,
Yeah.
like I'm just a blessed child. Honestly, that's how I felt. But yeah, it was hard.
So
It was
you,
hard.
yeah, you went through it, but obviously this support is so important.
Very. You
So
can't.
important.
I don't think anyone can do this because I had the choice to go to India to do it, or to do it here.
I'm glad you did
But
it here.
yeah,
Oh,
because I have no family in
you would have been
India.
alone, even if
Yeah.
it's just you and your husband.
Still.
Yeah.
12, I think I would say, because 2 months. So what would I have done for 12 weeks in India?
And you know what? It's also hard on the caregivers. It's also
Yeah.
hard on like your husband or somebody who's taking care of you directly. It's so hard for them to see you like this
Yes.
constantly as well. And that's another thing I think we don't, well, we talk about, we appreciate them, but in society, like if somebody is not well, we pay so much attention to their recovery. I mean, so it should be. But yeah, there's
And you forget
also
about yourself.
yeah, there's also that. So let me bring you back to now. You said you're managing your pain with your lifestyle. So what does that look like? What is your lifestyle now?
Okay, so main thing is diet, guys. And there's no proof of this, but with the doctors I spoke to, and obviously the YouTube research, and all the celebrities that have spoken, and professors and other women who've gone through this, talk about the same thing. Okay, so gluten free, no fried food, dairy free. Make sure you have wholesome foods. Protein play a big role. Okay, plant-based, basically plant-based. And because protein play a big role for non-vegetarians, important to understand between fatty meat and good meat. Very important, because yes, you're non-vegetarian, you will rely on your chicken, you will rely on your meat. Yeah, so just make sure you have a lot of veggies with your meat. Veggies is like a big chunk. Lot of nutrients there, but plant-based. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Excellent. And then exercise. You said right now you can't do.
I can't do it, but I have come a long way. Slowly, it's like you start with walking, and then you start with body exercises, and then from body exercises, when you feel you have a bit of a strength, you then start with weights. So it's a very gradual thing. It will, for someone who was exercising so much, who was hiking so much, and you had to start from scratch.
Scratch as in like even to
Baby
get up, yeah, from here to the washroom is a workout.
Mentally as well, you'd get frustrated. But you know what? When you actually put yourself in what you went through with what you are doing now, that always helps with what you're doing now and how far you've come now.
And you said there was a time in your life that you went through depression and also this whole journey, and we just talked about mentally. So is there anything you do right now to like stay mentally strong or focused, or are there any practices that you would say?
Meditation
Okay.
and a lot of spiritual talks and readings. It really helps. As long as you're calm, first thing is acceptance. And acceptance comes from when you yourself have understood mentally, physically that the sooner I deal with this, the better. I cannot play a victim role, and let me just get on with it and move on, the better. So acceptance is a very big part. And then obviously you've got your support system and all that. Yeah. So that plays a major role.
Amazing. Meditation. Quite a lot of guests who have sat on the chair have sworn by meditation.
Yes.
And my life has also changed because of yoga and meditation. So, yes.
Very much. I mean, I did Vipassana, and that's the meditation that I follow, and it's a game changer. It is truly a game changer.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And before we started recording, you were telling me there is a group of women in Kenya, like support group for
Yes.
endometriosis.
Yes.
Okay.
I haven't joined the
Okay.
group myself, but there is a huge community. I can share information. I'm ready to share with what I've found, but there is a huge community here in Kenya. as
So
well.
if anybody is going through something similar to what you mentioned, can they reach out to you?
Yes, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, I can even share the doctor's contacts who've actually helped with this diet change. Oh yeah, one more thing, guys, I forgot to mention when it was lifestyle changes. Caffeine is a no. That was hard for me. I used to love my coffee. For anyone who knows me, who's going to be watching this, but um, it had to be done. So, guys, caffeine is tea, caffeine is coffee, caffeine is also green tea. Yeah, I didn't know that, but and decaf is not decaf. There is still a bit of caffeine in there as well. So, guys,
I don't
do
think
not-
people want to hear that part,
do
right? Because
not-
it's
yeah.
hard.
let no one lie to you. Decaf has, as long as it's coffee, there is caffeine inside.
And you've gone caffeine
I've
free.
gone caffeine free as well.
Wow.
So
That's-
herbal teas
That's
and no processed foods. You go buy something, read the packaging. If you understand the 5 ingredients, you're good. If anything more than 5, no, because there are preservatives and so many other things in there.
that's a lot of discipline you live by.
Yeah, it's basically a choice I made because it's either that or I go back under the knife, I remove my uterus, and then I go through these other issues in life.
Was a
Simple as
no-brainer
that.
for you.
Yeah. Took a whole month of stress, a whole month of talking to so many women, a whole month of trying to figure things out, but finally figured it out. I think I've made the right choice. I'm not sure, I don't know. But I think with the way I'm feeling today, the way I am after 7 months, I think I've made the right
And-
choice.
Yeah, and also it's what you're saying, your choice.
Yeah.
It's your choice.
My choice.
Whether right now it's right, whatever happens in the future,
Yes,
it
I
will
don't
be
know.
your
Yes,
choice.
but
Yeah.
it's going to be my choice.
Yeah, that's-
And that's why I say acceptance.
And it was an informed decision you
Yes.
made because you did your research. You didn't just listen to 1, 2, 3, and
Yeah, and it's sad. And it's not only doctors here, guys. It's doctors. I mean, listen to these stories on YouTube. It's everywhere. Australia, America, UK. I don't know, but it's everywhere. It's not only here. Doctors will not tell you a right direction. They will not tell you it's possible to reverse this through diet. It's so strange, but yeah, it is what it is.
Thank you so much, Shreya, for
Yeah.
sharing your story and also being open to if people want to reach out.
Oh yes, definitely. Please do. Please do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.